この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Episode 8, and probably 9. I've been informed that these probably go well together as a duo. We'll see how that goes. I might not be in the best state to be capable of doing that today. Maybe I'll get into why, maybe not. I'm not sure. I'm just tired. But that is what we're going to do. Last time on Jujutsu Kaisen, man, we got to talk a little bit about that last episode. Episode 7 is spectacular. And in hindsight, I'm a little bit disappointed in myself for not immediately clocking all the Gurren Lagann and Evangelion references. I did immediately notice, like, the Eva scream, right? But most of the Gurren Lagann references were maybe even more on the nose, and I missed them. And I've been kind of wondering about that over the course of the week. In some sense, I'm a little bit ashamed. Gurren Lagann is my favorite show. Trigger Gainax is my favorite animation studio, and still is. Nobody's taken that title. I mean, KyoAni gets up there. And in general, I mean, the big studios are doing great recently. Ufotable is kicking ass in a lot of ways. Mappa is killing it, churning out these big shonen shows over and over. Madhouse is down its own new path. It's like we're in a new expansion, a new golden era, or at least the potential for it. And I'll say a new golden era, especially for shonen, for big ticket, mass market appeal shows. And still, nothing has topped Trigger Gainax for me. Nothing has topped the way that I feel about Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill and Furikuri and Evangelion and Gunbuster and Diebuster. Nothing has done that. Those are the stories that affect me deeply. And so it's curious to me that I missed them in the context of that episode. And I'm like, I want to go and berate myself, but at the same time, I'm kind of grateful for it because I got to experience the episode 7 on its own, isolated, without having to make those leaps or jumps to, like, associate it with something else. I got to experience it as it is, just as it is. And then have the eureka moment as I went through Sakakaburu and realized, oh my god, all of those things that I really enjoyed, they weren't just tickling my general fancy, they were tickling the part of me that recognizes them. Eureka! So I got kind of a double whammy of enjoyment of the thing, which kind of makes it even better. And that's really cool. I do think there's something lacking in homaging the form of a piece of media without investigating deeply the function of that piece of media. Gurren Lagann is not my favorite anime because it has drills or cool shots of characters screaming. Those things are accent marks. Those things are punctuation and fluff on top of a foundational story that resonates with me in a way that no other story has ever. The spiral drill narrative of Gurren Lagann I still will hold one of the most brilliant pieces of storytelling ever executed. And the Mechamaru fight doesn't have that. It has its own piece of story, and I'm not positive that they line up as well as maybe they could. There's something missing in homage or missing in copying. And I find this interesting. I won't read it out, but somebody in the comments mentioned their love of music and how they had repeatedly attempted to become an artist, to draw, and found themselves just copying the aesthetics of artists that they liked and feeling like there was something deeply missing from it, like they didn't have the foundations to build up to that point. And that made me think about the interchange of ideas and symbols in any media industry and sort of the potential for loss of meaning of those symbols. The symbol of Simone running forward against the anti-spiral, and that scream is like, it's wrapped up in so much of the narrative landscape of Gurren Lagann. And when you extract just the symbol without the purpose, it loses something. And so the Mechamaru scenes are animation-wise gorgeous and fascinating and interesting, and more than enough so to absolutely bowl me over and be incredibly impressive, but they don't carry the weight that they could otherwise evoke if they were bringing in all the context of the previous show. Not that they could, but I hope you see what I'm getting at. There's something really cool about homaging these visual elements, but also something really interesting in how the meaning of those visual elements shifts from one piece of media to another once it's filtered through the understanding of the artist who decided to create it and the execution into another story that doesn't necessarily contain the elements that would allow the iconography, the symbols, to mean what they mean. You get something unique and kind of novel, pretty different and a little bit weird, and maybe not complete entirely, but still more unique, say, than coming up with a particular unique scene for those elements. There's nothing wrong or bad. In fact, I'm a big fan of borrowing and stealing, of taking elements that have, well, let's say, that have been executed really well and saying, that was executed really well, I'm going to steal that and I'm going to execute it really well in my stuff. It's like half of the journey that I've gone on learning to scribble things is figuring out how people who are better than me at it do that. And animation is no different. So kind of what we're witnessing is not just homage, but the testing grounds for younger animators to try on the outfits, the trappings of the people that they've looked up to. And it's part of that flow toward a new golden age, I think, for animation, is the incorporation and digestion and potentially regurgitation of a lot of the things that made the previous golden ages so golden. So having an episode of a modern anime that not only references, but wholesale steals cool elements from other shows is really interesting because it demonstrates both the awesomeness of doing that and how much it can bring enjoyment and make a cool scene, and also the flaws of it, how it can lose things in translation and produce a lack as time progresses. All of this kind of fits into one of my main talking points about passing information down, but in a more meta way than I usually think about it. I think of the stories that we tell mostly as stories told by artists to consumers, and consumers consuming those stories, integrating some pieces of them, and those having a material effect on their lives. I don't often think about the way, or at least consciously think about the way, that art affects the next group of artists. How those people take the stories of their previous generation and the storytelling methods of the previous generation and convert that to their own time and place and space. We've been doing it since we were telling stories. Part of the idea of our original oral traditions is that you need somebody to keep on the tradition. And the same is true of everyone who's engaged with almost any medium. They've read before, and what they've read before will influence what they write. Or they've looked at drawings before, and what they've looked at will influence what they draw. And they've watched anime, and what they're watching will influence what they create. A lot of this is expressed and explored in Blue Blazes, but I just wanted to point it out because I think it's really cool. So, am I disappointed in myself for not immediately clocking all the references in the last episode? Maybe a little bit, but not much. And part of that is because that's not the point. The point is to experience and enjoy. And the added enjoyment of finding out that there's a lineage, there's a connection between this and other things that I care about, is just plus. It's just icing. It's just gravy. So that's pretty cool. Now, as far as plot stuff goes, Mechamaru fought his way out against Mahito with a hell of a play and a giant freaking mech. It was a Gurren Lagann color extravaganza fuckfest with some Itano circuses that are just wild. Pigeon violin. Is it pigeon violin? Something like that. Insane. The Kyukawa cut, multi-animals running through the forest and getting chased by laser beams. There's nothing like it. There are both those sort of referencey shots that do have a basis in something, and the newer stuff. One of the more talented animators currently working in the industry today, doing something that's genuinely unlike anything that I've ever quite ever seen before, ever. So that was a cool experience, man. It was a really cool experience, especially considering that the whole of that experience was like 2/3 of the episode, and not even a full episode. It feels like the stuff that was in it could have filled 3, just in terms of visual stuff and overwhelm. That's part of my excuse for not figuring out the references and stuff. I was just bowled over by how cool everything looked. Just from the opening scene with all the red and the blue and... Wild. Wild. An absolute blast. Mappa pulling out all the stops. Will it continue? I don't know. I know that there's some fuckiness with production on this season, but I haven't seen any signs of it yet. Maybe we will today. Regardless, after our 2/3 of an episode dedicated to Makamaru, who tried oh so hard, revealed a bunch of stuff about domains and attacks and fighting to us, and lost, sad as it might be, we turned our attention to the incident and its unfolding. Shibuya has been locked down behind a veil, and nobody can get out. They're waiting for one man to arrive, Gojo. And where we left off, he stepped through that veil. Under the surface, in the subway tunnels perhaps, lurk all of our enemies. And they have a plan. They want to seal that boy. I think they're going to succeed. That's my general take. I think they're going to succeed. They've tested enough things. They've had enough time to prepare and plan. Geto knows what Gojo is about. He's made the mistake before in the whole Yuta experience of underestimating the situation just a smidge. I don't think he will again. I don't even think that he'll really underestimate the unknown factors, because that's kind of what messed up his plans with the Yuta experience. But I don't think we win this one completely. I think we end up in a chaotic state with our most potent, most powerful figure removed. And then we release chaos upon this world. Let's see what happens to the world of Jujutsu sorcery when its cornerstone, Satoru Gojo, is removed. Will the whole arch fall? That's what Geto's counting on. Okay, drawing time. Should be a relatively quick one. Okay, I'm going to go for a mixed symbol here. Done. I don't know what that means. Funny thing about symbols, sometimes they emerge without understanding. After all, they do stem from our subconscious more than from our conscious mind. We usually spend a lot of effort using our conscious mind to try to figure out what those symbols mean, and sometimes we just need to sit with them and let them percolate a little bit. Sometimes they don't actually mean something conscious or linguistically expressible. I don't know. I think this makes sense to me, though. There's this. Well, it's me imparting that symbology that's not necessarily evoked by the show into the symbols that are actually presented by the show. What I see in what I drew is, here's this spiral narrative, this upward pathway, this drill that will pierce the heavens. And then from the base of it emerges this terrifying Cheshire cat grin that is Mahito's, to undercut it all, to remove that possibility, to chop it off at the knees. Maybe it's right that we don't push so hard on the actual meanings of those symbols, because those symbols are powerful and positive, and our character loses. He doesn't succeed. He doesn't push through. Maybe it's good that we don't play up the power of the spiral. Maybe it's good that we know that he's got a limit from the start. We know how many years of energy he has. I don't know. I'm just glad we got to see some damn cool mecha animation. And there is some damn cool mecha animation. And having gone back and watched a bunch more of the episode, I don't know that there's much modern mecha animation that's much better. Got some really cool stuff going on. A lot of it's straight copied from Evangelion and Gurren Lagann. But I don't really care, honestly. It's still really cool. Okay, Gojo Satoru enters the building. Or the Veil building, whatever. This is gonna get weird. Things are gonna get strange here in Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Episode 8, which we're going to watch right about now. I've got the episode up and ready to go. It is sitting at 0 seconds. There will be 2 versions of this reaction video. Let me make sure that I've got the right subs. I do. 2 versions of this reaction video. Picture-in-picture version with the video up there, linked in the description down there. Timer-based version will be up on YouTube. You're watching it right now, and it'll have a beep-beep timer for you to count your stuff down. That's going to be right here. Beep-beep timer. Also, early access on the Patreon. Beep-beep timer. I don't know what Hikarie is? Oh man, there are so many references. Oh! Wait, what was that a reference to? Oh, hi, Gojo! Oh. Another veil? Yeah, total. Just not touching you. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. This is a weird space. I don't know this location, so. Nobody's paying attention to the flying man. Oh, who is this guy? That is definitely the axe. His name is Wee. May as well. What is this? Are they in a thing? Was that a weird kinky thing? I'm gonna go with yes. He's picking up the. Yeah, he's fast. They're here? They're here? They're here? They're here. Oh, shit. Okay. 2 serious businesses and 1 sorcerer. I don't know if we got that guy's power. I think we saw him, but didn't get his power. I don't remember. So we're redoing the Jogo fight. Hanami is present, and we've got one more. And there's probably another person hiding. And many more plans in place. Because the whole thing is to trap Gojo. Everybody who's involved in this is on that. Okay. Little axe carry. I know some of you are jealous. I know it. I wonder if that was a tear from Miwa after we see Mekamaru. So I'm coming to a question. I'm wondering if they're gonna bring like reincarnate Toji in some way. The way that Megumi is standing up against that faceless creature makes me think it's possible. That's my totally weird guess. So nesting dolls. Okay. Mahito! Oh, unhappy. Mei birds? They gotta be Mei Scout birds. Yeah, they wouldn't go in there. Behind the hair. Cool! Let her warg! Shut the fuck up. Oh. Oh! There are enemies there. Oh no. Oh, let me kill the cursed spirit. Cursed spirit. Doesn't like killing humans. Okay. This is Donkey Kong. Veils and veils. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a word. Oh yeah, he's down there. He's there somewhere. Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. We can hope. Okay, so we're sending Itadori, somebody else who they want, in alone. I won't lose to anything. Except maybe... Cell? Cell, is that you? Oh, you've looked better, my guy. Ugh. Oh boy. I think you're stupid. I don't think you're smart. Oh, thank you. Okay. Oh, I guess he didn't know the name. That's interesting. Mm, mm. The nail. The nail. Mahito's sorcery is bad? He didn't say he put it up. It's the nail. Yeah. Yes, because you're very smart. Yep, you're very, very smart. Good bug. This episode is quite flat. Like there has been the least interesting camera work. No. Got him? I feel exactly the same way. Oh. Oh. What? What the hell? This is like a JoJo's thing. Oh, I was thinking locusts. This is just one big grasshopper. Yeah, total harbingers of destruction. Grotesque mastication sounds echo relentlessly. Black mucus probably is a power. Yeah, for sure. They would be a big curse. Oh, he biting. It's a grasshopper. Yeah, insect plague is an old. Whoa. Okay, that was fun. Oh, he's evolving. It is very cellish. That's a big, uh, but some cool angles here. Okay. Kind of reminds me of some One Punch Man fights. Also against, like, the rhinoceros beetle thing and certain other similar things. That is also Madhouse work, so. Yeah! Yeah, if you have to say it, maybe it's not true. I think you got him. Punch him in the dick. Oh. Ah! Ah! What up? Keep telling yourself that. Keep telling yourself that. Itadori is not a normal human. You're screwed, Grasshopper. Okay, so flat overall, cool piece of animation. Soundtrack doesn't work at all for it. Like, at all. The soundtrack piece that they chose doesn't work at all. Where's our cool jazz? Where'd it go? Oh, black mucus! Just kidding, it's purple. Did he trickify us? Oh! Oh no. Don't lay eggs in him. Ah, he punched him in the dick. Yay. Ugh. So he went and found and broke the thing. Cool. Good job. And praying over the body of the one left behind. Hello. So he's on B5. Kogai? I assume that that's a pun on grasshoppers. I just don't know off the top of my head. Oh, Death Train from the OP. Uh-oh. His walk is very fun. That deserves to be placed right next to, Man, you love looking down on people, Mei. Maybe a special grade, my guy. True. Maybe it's too cool. Huh? Oh, Hanami. A new seal. He knows that he's what they want. Wow. Oh, can't see the rest of them because it's just the sorcerer who he can see. Blowing bubbles? At his strongest when he's alone? Oh. So we're forcing Superman choices and Batman choices. How can you protect these people? Wow. Let alone civilians. It also helps your points, right? They're just holding you back. This want to care for them is only going to cause you harm, right? Wow. So we can just do rampaging murder. Oh! He's that guy. Damn. No. Not gonna do literally anything. Bonk. Oh. Oh? What are we doing with these tiny children? Are we gonna cause a lot of murder? Okay. Bubbles popping. Oh, he's just. Oh, God, that's terrifying. So, y'all think this is actually gonna work? Double domains from two different sides? Okay. And it wasn't the normal line, right? It was domain extension? Oh! Oh! We got him! Victory! Gojo is dead! He knows. He knows what he's up against. Oh, so that's why we introduced that. There. Oh. So can it neutralize Limitless the same way that the sword did? It can. Okay. Yeah, how do we touch him? That works? Ooh. Because it'll force him to bring his out. They'll die anyway. Gojo Satoru, 100%. Because there's another shoe that's gonna drop. This is all distraction still. Hella hair. Oh boy. Oi! Oh, Jogo. Will they have completely misunderstood what he would do in this situation? Oh, he's just gonna go for it, isn't he? Oh. You think? Oh man, I don't know. He's gonna step on that bubble? You gonna step on that bubble? Oh, it popped. Oh wow, is that? Yeah, that is the full end of the episode. Okay. That's a mixed bag of an episode. I think the first half is boring as shit. Second half is really interesting. Kind of like a full reverse of last episode, where the first half or the first 2/3 were like, oh, and then the second half was just setup. This one is like lots of setup, and then some cool stuff. There are a lot. That's it. That's the only good thing about Gojo Satoru. Oh! Gate open? Like a gate to another realm, or a gate within Satoru Gojo, or I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to wait and find out. This is gonna be an interesting discussion. I think we can keep it pretty short. First, I gotta go use the bathroom. Okay. Start of episode. There's plenty of... I wonder who that is. Feels like a character that we just met in Freerun, but that feels wrong. There's a lot of cool stuff in this opening sequence. Scenes of Gojo floating around, large scenes of lots of moving people, but overall, I think that the first half of the episode feels quite flat to me. It's got some fun jokes and bits and gags and things. This character is fascinating, and the dynamic with Mei Mei is really interesting. Full mommy dom with a slave. Very strange. But not like the most creative or interesting stuff that we've seen in Season 2 by a long shot. In fact, this in many ways feels closer to a lot of the production style of Season 1. There's a lot more there that isn't in Season 1. It's still different, it's still distinct, but we're not as creative with camera angles. And there's a lot of exposition going on, and I think those come together to create a pretty boring chunk of an episode. Chock full of little fun things that keep me intrigued and make it totally watchable and enjoyable for continuing the storytelling, but in terms of going above and beyond and making it an extravagant experience, there's not much here. There are some cool moments where we hold up phones, they become the whole screen. Some location shots that are mildly interesting. And eventually the general gung-ho-ness and anger of our protagonist. These are all cool, but they're not mind-blowing or super amazingly dramatically interesting. So I'm not going to spend that much time on them, because it just is what it is. Is that a little bit disappointing? Yes. We've established a very high bar for Season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. That's a bit of a worry when you come out the gate swinging that hard. People are going to expect a lot more, and so when you drop back down to a sort of a normal anime production level of quality, which is where we are for most of this first 8 minutes of the episode, it feels like a big drop, even though it's still at or above the level that we would normally expect. I don't know. So we meet Big Bug and question him a bunch. He's quite curious. The whole, I'm smart, you're not smart, maybe you are smart, wait, you're actually smart, oh shit, you're smart, but I'm smarter, oh no, you're the smartest, is pretty interesting. Itadori does figure out the nail, which is cool. I will say, I like these shots that continue to go wider and sort of establish our enemy, but then also establish the space that they're going to be fighting in, the walls, the bathrooms next to it, the whole location, until we actually start kicking into gear and really moving. And then we there's a lot of willingness to flip the camera around and have fun with it. There. That's cool. Shit's moving. Ugh, shit's jiggly. This is a spooky monster, for sure. I can't think of it. I can't help but think of it as an eggplant dong. Like a giant dong. There are some elements of the fight that feel kind of floaty, kind of weird. But there are also elements that are really fun, and see, I like this. I like this dynamic angle that we've got. I like the way that they're jumping past each other. I like the expressiveness of Itadori, even if he does feel like he's completely off model throughout. It's to give us expression. Whoa. That duck underneath is neat too. Yeah, there's some cool animation here that I definitely enjoy. Bam, 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 bam. But we get this. I want to hear the soundtrack for this again. There's no momentum to it. Even with our jazzy tracks before, there's been this punctuation to it, the stops and starts of the drum kit, or different melodies coming in and out to indicate shifts and flow in the fight. Here, there's none of that. It doesn't feel like the track here was actually made for this scene, nor does it feel like the people making this scene chose the best track for it. It's maybe the first time in season 2 of JJK where there feels to me like there's been a flub in terms of all the layers coming together. Our show's been really good so far about bringing all the layers together, making the music, even if it's weird, even if it's a strange type of music to fit certain elements or certain combat scenes, it has worked and been consistent and coherent. This is not, to me. This is pretty boring. And if we're going to be evoking something JoJo-y and a big attack rush, shouldn't we be in that vein, like kind of going off on it? It's weird because in our previous episode, we had references that took the trappings and the aesthetics of an element and went all in on those aesthetics without necessarily getting the underlying stuff. And here we just have the base bare bones of it without the aesthetic stuff that actually makes it fun. It's pretty interesting. I do think it's a little bit of a flub. Like, if this is supposed to be climactic for the episode, I don't think it does it. Like, especially here, we have a break in the thing, and the music just keeps going. Like, there's been no change. Until we cut it out here completely, and it's just the machine gun of the punches, which is a cool element, a cool idea. But we also fade that down so that they can have dialogue, so it doesn't feel like it's impactful. I think this is a scene with a bunch of mistakes in it. I think this could have been done in a way that made us all go, yeah! And not just because we recognized the thing, but because it was an actually cool execution of it. But instead, I went, yeah! Oh. Yeah, I recognize this thing. Oh, it's not what I wanted it to be. That's kind of sad. That's kind of really sad. The last moments are pretty cool. The play, and then doubling down on Itadori's reasoning for doing this. It's pretty cool. As well as praying for the thing. And then we get to turn our attention to the real deal. This is a fun walk. Look at that. That's a fun walk. Fun walk, fun run. Welcome to hell. Put Gojo Satoru in an arena with 3 powerful people, all angled to fight him, and then shove innocence in around him and over him to prevent him from doing what he needs to do. You can't stop Superman, but you can threaten Lois Lane. You can threaten people around him. And doing so has an ulterior motive too. It serves to help try to prove or shore up Geto's vision, right? He maybe wants to force Gojo to kill a bunch of civilians, a bunch of humans. He maybe wants to put him into these positions and force his hand in some way. I think that's pretty interesting. He's not just trying to win the pragmatic, literal battle. He's also trying to win the mental or philosophical battle. He wants to be right. Geto wants to be right, and he wants to prove it. And I think that forcing Satoru Gojo to kill a bunch of innocent people would help Geto feel like he's correct. I don't know why we continue cutting to these children playing. I will say that it gives the whole sequence a weird contrast. We're talking about and manifesting a lot of death, and then we have all this youthful play stuff. It's a pretty interesting contrast. Anybody have a deeper read on that particular reason? It's interesting that they're invading this space where the future lives, the children live. And they're monsters. I don't know, there's something to it that tickles me, but I'm not sure what it is. Some cool shots as well. Like, these are very pretty scenes for weird children staring at bubbles. All the pretty pastels, and then the goofiness, the pure goofiness. That makes me miss the Sampos. That makes me miss the strolls. Man, this just does not work. Does not work at all. But I think they've got enough plans in place, man. I think they know. I think that we are, even as he wins, even as he's pushing forward and becoming closer to victorious, I think they've got him. I'm surprised you thought you could beat me with this sorry excuse of a plan. He looks up, he's still got the fire in his eye. 20 minutes and we'll have him. We've got him psychologically. He's in. He thinks he can win. He's certain of it. Gojo is. He's certain that this little petty plan will not work on him. That certainty might be the nail in his coffin. Let's find out, and do so by watching the next episode. See you in a second. Peace. All right, welcome back. It's just shortly after we left off, and we're ready to pick back up for episode 9 of Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Shibuya Incident. Gate open. What does that mean? I don't know. Let's find out. Beep beep timer. We're gonna lose Gojo Satoru this episode. This is like death flag to to oblivion. Demo. The most fucking powerful. Yeah. We're gonna totally lose him. Holy shit. Holy shit. Megumi? No, it's Gojo. Is this now? This is here and now? How's he been pushed so far? Oh, those are the people falling. That was a hell of an intro. Okay, so we're jumping back. A call out. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, that's fucking sick. He chose to touch you. Enjoy eating your friend's attack. Almost. Ah, not what I predicted. He's so happy. Hey, sure. Even though he called you out. Weed. Got your hand. I don't think so. Why? Whoa! Underestimating you, perhaps? Or maybe it's the other way around. Sweet. Oh my god. Oh boy. Ah! Oh. He's the strongest. They did say. Who just threw corpses at him? Oh, it's this guy, the blood manipulation dude. Powers out. He's still using it. He's just turning it off and on. No eyes, Hanami! Oh my god. I think Gojo might be the bad guy. I think he still might be the bad guy. Do you actually think he cares? Will you now? Not anymore. That's paste. That's paste. Holy shit. Okay, this is looking maybe more doable. Tsugi. Ipunda? Gate open. 4 meters? So you have to survive 1 minute. I thought it was 20. Once you get him there, it's 1 minute. Against the strongest. Dude, I haven't watched Akagi recently. I don't know my mahjong. It's your job. It'll be totally safe. Yeah. Just throwing people at him. Oh! Yeah, just full Undertale. Oh, he does not give a fuck. It's a 4-meter radius, though. Oh, I don't think you got away, bro. Oh, just irrelevant. Oh. and your capacity to do it. So he's sacrificing few to save many. He immediately realized that he can't. Prevent them for the whole future. Oh. Dude, it's been like 2 minutes. Oh boy, and we got Waterboy there. I'm sure you like having Gojo Satoru on edge. Yo! Sorry. Oh boy. Okay, so we're turning our attention here. Hey, having a good day? Oh, Mahito made a death train. Ah! Ooh, this is gonna be crazy. Oh, a train full of transfigured humans is gonna arrive here. It's another step. Safety! Nope, nope, nope! That's a death train! Oh my god, Cabanera the Iron Fortress style! That's a death train. Please open just zombies. Also, there's Dracula right there. Kitana! No, no, oh no. Don't get so. Oh, I just saw One Punch Man. Dude's gonna get your head eaten first. Zombies? Zombies! That's much worse. Ding dong. Fuck. And are those visible to people? Regardless of whether they can see curses? Seems like it. Murder and chaos and mayhem. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Man, they've got a weird balance. Nani? Nani? Wait, what? Yeah, man. Y'all picked a fight with God. You probably shouldn't have picked a fight with God, even with all the plans you've got. Oh, he's so happy. First meeting, eh? Oh, jeez. Do not let your guard down, Gojo. Oh, no. Fuck. So we're trying to put him on edge. Fuck. Just as, putting as much as we can to him. He broke his limitless. So we're trying to push him as far in that direction as he can be pushed, huh? Stress, stress, stress. Oh man, they're playing a psychic game. Maybe. I don't think that's true. I think they've underestimated his ruthlessness. Yeah, you've underestimated his ruthlessness. Time stop. This is very different. Got to accomplish something. To use it to kill all of them? He just guessed to try to protect everybody? Bro. And then spent that time running through everyone and dispatching every transfigured human. This is gorgeous. Enough to lock them up, but not enough to totally disable and destroy them, huh? Man, he's turning into a rocket! Bro, he's full flash running! Fuck. Which makes me think that he's not gonna succeed completely, and he's gonna get trapped. This is a big... Oh... Protect. So that's why we cut to here with him so exhausted and covered in blood. Whoa. I think it would be less seconds, right? I don't know. Oh my god, dude. But now you've blown a lot of energy, man. Oh, that's fucking crazy. Okay, he's catching his breath. What? What? Oh. Holy shit, he's been in the zone? Just the time that he spent breathing hard? Just the time he spent breathing hard? Whoa. So that's what that is. Hi, buddy. Because he's dead. Because he should be dead. Damn. Oh. Damn. He's already trapped. Unless Yuji Itadori gets here right now. But what about the scar? Uh-huh. But what has changed, and how are you alive? Whose brain? Who is this? Whoa, whoa, whoa. But it hasn't been expressed who it was. So it's not Geto, it's just someone using all of his energy and his powers, and we're in his way, whoever's way this is. He still exists. Hey, maybe he'll be back. Maybe we'll need him. So, that original question, what changed in Geto? Oh! Oh! Mecha Boy, oh! He left a message! He knows the plan. Because he knows the plan, and that's the end of the episode. Fuck me in the fuck! What? 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 So who stole the body of your boy? Yeah, so yes, they had a falling out. Yes, they went different directions in an interesting way. But no, the person that we're up against is not Geto. Geto is no more. He's been yoinked. All his power. Wow, for a person whose whole ability is to take in and steal cursed abilities, to be stolen by a brain thief. What the fuck? Next episode. What did I say would happen if he lost? All hell and all chaos would break loose. In a way, it already has. What a wild twist. So all of this time that we've spent with our our built up background, our relationship with these two characters, is to imply that they are still the same two characters battling it out. But the truth is, since killing him, since ending him during the movie, the Geto Suguru that has existed is not the same person. So those scars across his skull are not just for show or something of Mahito putting him back together. He has instead been taken. By what? I don't know. I don't actually know if we have the information to know. It doesn't seem like it. It seems like this is a party that has entered the playing field, or I guess has been playing on this field for this entire time, who is not at all what we expected. Someone with the ability to transfer bodies and steal all their power. And potentially, it seems like a lot of their memories, too. Their cursed energy signature, their physical abilities, their cursed abilities, and their identity. Wow. So there's no chance at reconciliation. And now, our trump card, our biggest, baddest, strongest boy, has been overwhelmed. This episode is a step up from the previous one in almost every way. This opening sequence is as death flaggy as it could possibly be, I think, but also cool and fascinating. It's almost like a eulogy before the fact. And then the mix of timing to show us an interesting stinger here, and then build up to that point, and then conclude, is a clever device for the structure of the storyline. Gojo is genuinely terrifying, maybe more of a monster than the monsters that he faces in some real way. And he's continuously doing things that they seem to not expect. But they know that they're kind of sacrificial bait. They know that they just need to force him. Push him. Ah! Freaking awesome. Push him. And eventually he'll break. He'll make some crazy move. Overall animation is great. In weird environments, too. Our camera angles are anything but flat all the way through. The only times when we get flat with our camera angles are when we want to make Gojo extremely expressive, when we want to be, like, flat in a scene like this. Not at all flat to me. You know what I mean? His glee is a little bit more maniacal than we've even seen it. It's really quite destructive. And he revels in it. Not in the sort of pure, wow, my power sort of way, but in destruction, in death, in killing. Satoru Gojo revels. He's actually this strong? Stronger. The more you try, the more I'll reinforce. And he just starts blasting Hanami back. Beyond grinning. Almost evil. I'll kill them all! He doesn't care. You're too late. He's getting the job done. And he's willing to make sacrifices. 1 minute. 1 minute in his own mind. So even if he uses, they needed him to use his domain. That's why they were pushing him to use the domain over and over, and forcing it, and making it seem like they would lose if he was willing to use the domain, right? They put all these people there in order to make it less appealing to use the domain because he'd kill a lot of people. But I think that's the play. They wanted to convince Gojo that they don't want him to use the domain and that his main trump card, using the domain, will be bad for them, so he'll use the domain and stick himself in that one position for too long. It's a double play. Fuck! I think that the use of Mahjong as the framing device for some of this is very solid and clever because it is a game of trickery. Everyone sees some part of the board and you place what you place down, but you're playing one hand as though it's a different hand in order to convince your opponents to put down the pieces that you actually need for your hand. So that kind of tricky gameplay is exactly what Geto is doing in this episode. Man, a true, deadly... It's Terminator-esque. It's very Terminator-esque. He just keeps coming. He just doesn't stop. Truly, you've picked a fight with a god. That's the whole idea. This is the whole idea. Push him and push him and push him. Hell Train sucks, but is really cool. Puts the pressure right on us. And now Gojo, threatened on all sides, has to make a choice, and he chooses. They seem surprised by it, but are they? Death on the front side, death on the back side, sorcerers and curses actively killing humans, and transfigured humans actively killing humans as well. He is capable of making those cold decisions, but what can he justify? He won't accept it. But they all smile when he does, when he actually goes for it. And what a brilliant move. An expression of power and capacity and control to do it for the shortest of times, to accomplish everything that he needs to avoid causing people endless harm. Something that only the strongest could do. Is rush through an entire population and weed out only the problems. It's like a microcosm of what Geto said. If I were the strongest, wouldn't my ideals become possible? For Gojo, they are possible. An entire train station filled with enemies and allies, and civilians. You have to kill all the enemies without affecting the civilians. Only Gojo Satoru could possibly do it. He's the strongest. And that's what they're counting on. So in the craziest ninja run of all time, becoming a smear that transcends light speed in a microsecond, Gojo Satoru saves everyone here and loses everything for everyone else. The strongest sorcerer of the modern age, indeed. And he's played right into their hands. What a cool visual. This dark red void of an eye staring at him, pulling him in. A dark reflection of his own limitless possibility. And another dark reflection. A face he knows. But it's not him. So who are you? Everything says you are, but my soul denies it. A smile. A brain. Horrifying cerebrospinal fluid. And the theft of bodies. A convenient leftover to obtain and use. And finally he says, I'm not worried about your successors. There's nobody who could take me. He doesn't know that much about Itadori, does he? And now Itadori knows the plan. Makamaru's made one last move to change the game. But now, it's all been building up to this. Our biggest card, the solution to everything, right? He's gone. So, I want to point something out, or just mention something. I've said a number of times over the course of Season 1 and as we've progressed in Season 2 that Satoru Gojo is too powerful. He's too strong. All we do is we wait for Gojo to show up and save the day, right? That's It's what we've done every big situation. What happens when that is gone? The scales go way out of balance, and we already have the title for the next episode. Pandemonium. Chaos without control. Now it's time for the new generation to step up to the plate and see whether they can defend the world against threats that have actually been able to take down their mentor. That's about perfect. He didn't overestimate himself. He didn't get too cocky. Really? Not really. They planned it immaculately. A perfect plan, executed to near perfection. Using Satoru Gojo's own strength, his own capacity, his own ability to save people, and desire to do so, as the weapon that would trap him and lock him away. A limit on the limitless. A box around the infinite void. The future does not look bright. We had a talk about Gojo and Geto going down different hallways with different directions. Well, we've got ourselves a tunnel or a hallway now, and there is no light at the end of it. Not yet. Not now. Time to step up our game. Otherwise, it's gonna be game over. Woo-hoo-hoo! And so the Shibuya incident happens. The plan comes to fruition. And Gojo Satoru is no more for now. Can we save him from the belly of the whale? We'll find out next time on Jujutsu Kaisen. Thank you so much for watching these episodes. These were a blast. A mixed bag. I think episode 8 is meh. I think episode 9 is banger. A mixed bag of episodes. Thanks so much for watching these with me. I will catch you next week for the next ones. Please let me know anything that I missed. If there's information about the characters who are present here, or the Gojo thing, or the Geto thing, or hints about it that have been hinted at that I wouldn't have caught because they were hinted at, but now would make sense, please let me know about those. I'd be very curious. The obvious one is the stitches, but beyond that, I'm not really sure. Wild. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next week for more Jujutsu Kaisen. Much love. Peace.